I live and breathe.
Got caught on a nanny.
Mary.
Poppins, you came back.
Mary Poppins Returns brings some holiday joy and wonder to South Florida theaters. Lin-Manuel Miranda plays Jack, a lamplighter with a heart of gold, in a performance so good he was nominated for a Golden Globe. And in this film, he does a lot. They get their money's worth out of you though, man. You're singing, you're dancing, you're rapping, there's an accent, there's animals, you're riding a bike.
I'm exhausted just hearing you list it all, but it was a joy. I mean, if it was fun to watch, it was twice as fun for us to make, and you know, every scene in this was a one-of-a-kind experience.
I'm sure it is fun, but it probably was really hard, really complicated. Just the way a movie like that gets made, you know, there aren't real penguins next to you, right? Or maybe they are. I don't know, the magic of this movie making. But complicated to make this film, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, I always say Rob Marshall was born in the wrong era. If he'd been born at the turn of the last century, he'd be one of the great MGM directors. And that's who I look to for inspiration. You watch Donald O'Connor or Sid Charisse or Fred Astaire or Gene Kelly, and they are doing impossible things, and they have a smile on their face, like they do it every morning, like it's easy as falling out of bed.
You can fix anything.
I can fix anything.
If only there were some accomplished actors in this film.
Oh my God! I mean, it's such an embarrassment of riches, from Angela Lansbury to Dick Van Dyke to Colin Firth and Meryl Streep. I mean, we have the casts of Mamma Mia and Paddington all in this movie.
Is there like a secret handshake, like an award, like Oscar handshake and stuff?
I feel like there's a British one, and they never taught it to me or Streep.
Yeah, right.
We were the Americans
poor Streep.
on set. Yeah,
poor Streep. People always picking on that one.
Yeah, she's an up-and-comer, though. I think she'll get her big break someday.
What would you like to do that you've not done yet, whether it's stage or film or TV? Any projects, any genres that you'd be super excited about?
It's the most cliche answer in the world, but I see this as year one of my film school to direct my first musical. I'm going to direct an original Jonathan Larson musical, Tick, Tick, Boom, for the screen in a couple years. And this is sort of year one of my film school. Year two will be when we make In the Heights with John Chu directing in spring of 2019. But I feel like I'm trying to soak up everything I can so that I can get behind the camera.
I used to feel like Kevin Hart did more than anybody else. I think you're like taking over the mantle. You do so much, man.
When it comes to like Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, like those guys literally are making movies in between scenes of their other movies. I'm lazy next to those guys.
Speaking of Kevin Hart, why don't you host the Oscars? Just thinking about that now.
I don't have any desire to do that.
Okay, so he won't host the Oscars, but maybe he'll win one for this film. Catch Lin-Manuel Miranda in Mary Poppins Returns out in South Florida theaters.